It's funny how God works in our lives, isn't it? I got an email from Sister Robin yesterday giving me her opening reflection, which is always kind of nice to make sure that we're on the same page and we're not negating each other, right? But little did she know that I was going to talk about Robin today. But not Robin the Carmelite, Robin the bird. Actually, two Robins whom I've gotten to know these past few weeks who have taken up residence on the porch of our friary. And they have built their nest, and actually I've been told year after year they build the nest above this same shutter. Creatures of habit, right? The robin, just like us in some ways. And it's been fascinating to see this dynamic, this dance between the friars and the two robins, as we long to be on the porch that they now call home. And so we delicately, one by one, usually after prayer but right before dinner, go and try to sit outside on the porch. And this one night they actually welcomed us. They let us sit by, but with eyes down toward us the entire time. As the mother robin sat on the nest, the father was at the grass watching us, waiting. And sometimes they would take turns and change places. And we thought all would be calm. When one of my brothers got up at one point, maybe made too sudden of a move, and the robin came swooping down and shrieking, and we all just jumped and said, you know what, it's time to go in. That desire to guard and protect our nest, our safe space, and how we want to keep an eye on it and not let go of it. Jesus even acknowledges this in the gospel today. Foxes have dens, birds of the sky have nests. But he says that he has no place to lay his head. He knows that tendency to want to nest, to want to retreat, to want to stay in one spot and not move a muscle, and to protect that. And yet, as we hear in our gospel, there's a challenge and an invitation for us to let go of that. Not that that's a bad desire to want safety and security and familiarity. But so often we make that experience God. And we build our kingdom. And yet life with Jesus, discipleship with Jesus, is about serving a greater kingdom. And being able to let go of that which we so often try to protect. And we hear all these wonderful images of wanting to go and bury this one, or wanting to go and say goodbye to that one. All very normal human things, and it almost sounds like Jesus just completely dismisses that. Yet that's not really what he's getting at. I think he's getting at that we will always have excuses in our relationships. Yes, but I will, but maybe tomorrow, let me tend to this first. When life with Jesus is about the present and about tending to that presence, where he's always telling us, follow. Keep moving. Follow me. Let me be your nest. Let me be your safety and your security. Can you trust that? But so far, at least in my life and perhaps in yours, there are times where I get my guard up, I get my feathers going, and I come swooping down, seemingly out of nowhere, and shriek. And I'm not that loud of a person most of the time, right? But I feel that something is going to be attacked inside of me. And I get defensive. And typically that which we defend so suddenly is usually something that Jesus wants us to let go of. Right? Oftentimes those things that we resist, those things that we protect, are oftentimes the unhealth that's within us, where the indwelling that Robin spoke about, the Carmelite Robin spoke about at the beginning, that's where the indwelling wants to be, and to have us have new life. So what's in us right now that we might be nesting, that we might be protecting, that perhaps Jesus wants us to look at a little bit more closely and see, maybe I can let go of this as well? But what's interesting is it's not always simply a letting go. Even more, it's a transformation. Because even in our first reading, Elisha, when he was preparing to go on the journey with Elijah to follow, he took what was holding him back and he transformed it and allowed to nourish those around him. Because ultimately, even that which was within us that's unhealthy has the possibility to be transformed into new life and to be nourished. So maybe that's what we are being invited to offer and place on this table this day. Those things that we might be protecting. And we might not even know exactly what it is, but even just to ask for the grace to let go and place on the table. And trust that in that letting go, God will do the work of transformation. And in that transformation will come nourishment, will come life.